you want to know about Muslims,
Ask a Muslim.
Ask a Muslim.
Ask a Muslim.
Instead of going to somebody else and listening to other people, you're gonna ask me. I'm Muslim.
My name is Delonte Williams from Washington, D.C. And my question is, how does real Muslims feel about fake Muslims?
Whoa, that's very heavy, deep. That's very deep. How do real Muslims feel about fake Muslims?
that's another great question, because there's phonies everywhere, and we don't appreciate fake Muslims, because fake Muslims make the real Muslims, and more so than the real Muslims, they make our religion look bad.
So no one is perfect, and we are practicing to be perfect.
But we happen to believe that our religion and the Quran is perfect. And phony Muslims, fake Muslims, whatever you want to call them, they reflect badly on us.
It varies because Muslims are different. But I would hope that a lot of us are coming to a place where we just embrace that people are trying to be good people.
Is there such thing as fake Muslims?
To follow Islam as they understand it.
Inquiring minds want to know.
I really hope that our communities could get to a point where, that we're open, and, some of us do that better than others, so.
I'll say this. There definitely are kind of ways in which Muslims distinguish between each other. And part of that is about, questioning people's legitimacy, right?
I don't know who's qualified to say who's a real Muslim or who's a fake Muslim.
Well, really, at the end of the day, only God knows what's in our hearts, right? What our intentions are, and what we do when no one else is watching.
I view it this way, that if you practice at something long enough, you just might become it.
As far as I'm concerned, you're a real Muslim as long as you believe, right? If you believe in the oneness of God and you believe in the finality of Prophet Muhammad, I'm good.
My name is Joanna, and my question is, why do people decide to become Muslim when they're in jail?
You know what? That's a good question.
I want to know the same thing. Oh, but I got gas because they finally had the opportunity to sit down and read and study something, and then find out like, wow, I really need to better myself.
I think when one is incarcerated, it's a time for great reflection and spiritual growth. I mean, you find that across the board for Muslims, Christians, and people of other faiths, that it's a time to kind of reconnect with the kind of good person you really want to be.
And maybe, the reason why he was in there, Lord knows, he just needed a little Islam. That's all. Make him a better person. And maybe he'd get out and won't go back. I hope.
To be honest, I never know what is inside people's heart.
People decide to let God touch their heart wherever. God touches you, you don't get to pick the time.
Maybe they were there for God to save them from the street.
He says you're ready. He makes Muslims.
I mean, who knows? I mean, it can vary, from person to person. I mean, I'm sure for some people that is the case, and some people just, keep the back covered.
Was it last year when a young man killed somebody? When he killed that person, he was arrested. The second day, they were taking him to court. He already have kufi in his head, and he already changed his name to Abdullah something. Abdullah means the servant of God. And people were saying that 2 days ago, he's not a Muslim. Now, automatically, he's a Muslim, and people were making fun that, he's going there so that he can be protected by the largest population of the Muslim.
Well, I think people who lose their freedom, which is a really kind of serious and intense thing, and I can only imagine what that would be like. I think it causes you to question a lot of things, right? About your existence, about the nature of the world, about your past, your present, and your future. So I think people who find themselves incarcerated, and a number of people, particularly in Black and Latino communities, find themselves incarcerated unjustly, right? Are questioning a lot of things.
And a lot of times you have a lot of time to think in jail. And you have a lot of time to think about some of the things that you'd like to have do-overs for. And the one good thing about taking Shahada is you are born again. That all of those past sins get erased, and you get a real opportunity to get right with your God.
Islam, right, because of its historic kind of position in Black and Latino communities, has a variety of answers that people find really fulfilling, right? And so I think this is why you see this attraction.
So a lot of times when people are very repentant and they're not in a worldly sense, they're confined, the one thing that they can turn to, the one thing that they can count on is God.
Oh, Sharia law. Oh, this is scary everybody.
Sharia law is a loaded word these days.
Sharia law is like many words that have entered the American lexicon that people are scared to death of, but they don't know what it is. And part of the reason people are scared of it, who are not Muslim, is because some Muslims have promoted a false understanding of the idea.
People are so scared of Sharia law, it is crazy. I don't even understand why you're scared.
Sharia is a term that literally means the path.
Basically, the Islamic dictates on life.
Basically, sort of divine law, right? What it is that God has revealed to the Prophet in terms of the rules and regulations, the duties and obligations, the rewards and punishment, right, for human behavior and activity.
It is derived from Quran, Hadith, Sunnah, Sirah of the Prophet, and rulings after that.
And again, you can't take everything literally.
Because the only way we understand Sharia is through human interpretation, right? We also have something called fiqh, or jurisprudence.
Sharia law is actually a beautiful thing.
The function of it is just to protect people from harming each other and harming themselves.
Of course, the purpose of Sharia law, it means like the path. But the purpose of it is to promote human dignity, fairness, and justice.
In Sharia law, if he's stealing clothes, then they're gonna find out, why are you stealing clothes? And he'll be like, cause this is all I got to wear. Then they're gonna give him the clothes. That's Sharia law.
There have been stories or hadith about the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and when someone got caught stealing and they're about to chop his hand, he's like, no, are you crazy? You can't chop off this man. Did you ask him why he stole? He was trying to feed his family. You should be trying to give him a job, not chopping off his hand.
You know what? Sharia law actually provides, I think, like maybe, 6 strikes? LA only give you 3 strikes. You spending the rest of your life in jail.
There's no one way to interpret it. There's no, and there's no unified document.
So that's Sharia law is just to protect the sacred things, and the most sacred thing that God created is the human being. So protect the human being and the human being's right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
I wish that we all knew. Don't be scared. Don't be scared.